Hey there, welcome back. This is Tarun Gill, your fitness host. Right, yeah, I just came up with a new one, a fitness host, helping you with your fitness queries. So I usually answer all your queries. I'm sorry guys if I'm a little late at times because I get many questions from you. So I try to answer as many questions as I can in my utmost capacity. So for people who are new to this channel, let me just tell you what I do. I like to answer all your queries. It could be around food, supplementation, diet, anything and everything around fitness. And why do I do that? Because it's my passion, and hey, I've got some crazy certifications as well. If you just think, who's this guy blabbering about fitness? So I'm certified to talk about all these things in terms of fitness and whatever experience that I have in fitness, about close to 15 odd years. So it kind of comes in handy. So this is, if you don't know, is a Q&A block where I would like to ask you, or rather you like to ask me questions around fitness. So let me just pick up a question for today. You ready? Let's go. So this question has come to me on my Facebook page. So this gentleman's name is Aman Singh, and he's from, guess what? Oh, Patiala, Punjab da Puttar. Like I'm a half Jat, so I can talk in Punjabi. Punjabi to gal kar sakna, but for other viewers, they may have challenges understanding Punjabi. So he's asking me that, hey, I want to ask. He just said, hey, hey, I want to ask you one thing. Do mass gainers really help to gain weight and muscle mass? Or I should use whey protein, which is the best choice to gain muscle mass? That's a very good question, Aman. And this is the question that almost everybody asks me, that, should I go for a weight gainer? Typically, it's called a weight gainer, not a mass gainer. It's a different connotation to different things. Which with a whey protein concentrate or an isolate. So which one should you buy? A whey protein or something like a gainer? What I have done for you, Aman, is, and for other viewers, that I've kind of put up few slides, just in case you really don't know what's going on in this video, you have no access to the audio. At least you can see what's going on in the presentation and kind of get some perspective on it. So let me just pull that out and explain it to you. Why do you need a gainer, or if you don't need a gainer at all, for other viewers to get some clarity on it. So here we go. So mass gainers is what it's typically called. So before I begin, I want you to have a look at these three guys. I'm sure you'd know about body types, but people who don't know about this, typically in male there are three kinds of body types: ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. Ectomorphs are the kind of guys, they're typically called in the fitness industry the hard gainers. People, who have tough time gaining muscles, and they're usually pretty skinny and lean. To give you an example, Ranbir Kapoor is a classic ectomorph. He usually have challenge putting on weight, and also he would also have challenge putting on muscles too. But that's his body type. That's an ectomorph. The other one is a mesomorph. Mesomorph is a guy that's genetically blessed. I wish I was a mesomorph, but I'm not. I'm a mix of meso and endo. We'll talk about endo later. So mesomorphs are the guys who are genetically very muscular. So if you look at all the Afro American people, the black community, I say that with no racist comment. They're pretty much all mesomorphs. It's just genetics. If I were to give you an example of a classic mesomorph in India, probably John Abraham would be a mesomorph, and Arjun Rampal will be a mesomorph. These are the muscular guys. If they work out a little harder, the muscles start showing it. They are blessed. Third category is the endomorphs. They're genetically fat, but they can also lose weight and gain fat also very, very easily. Typically, most of the Indian male fall into the endomorph category. So, to give you an example on endomorphs, you usually have a Govinda, Anil Kapoor. These are the kind of guys who probably fall into this category. Then there is a breed of mix, like a meso-endo. Like I'm meso-endo, so I'm very muscular, but at the same time I can also put on weight as well. But I'm clearly not an ectomorph. Now you're wondering, why am I sharing this with you when we're talking about mass gainers? The reason why I'm sharing this with you is mass gainers, if you were to look at it holistically, are designed for hard gainers. I've kind of circled it out for ectomorphs. People who can actually get extra calories and they don't have access to. Now, if a mesomorph or an endomorph were to take a mass gainer, obviously, you're just adding on extra calories, and extra calories would lead to, what? weight gain, not muscle gain. People usually confuse fat gain with muscle. That I've gained about 5 kilos of muscle after taking this gainer. Dude, it's not muscle, it's pure friggin' fat. But an ectomorph can take shitload of gainers, but still there'll be times that he would not get fat. On the contrary, if he gets a little fat, or he'll feel good about it, because the guy is having tough time packing on weight. So mass gainers as a whole are typically made for ectomorphs. So you really need to decide what is your body type, and I can't help you that. If you were to send me your pictures, though I will have a tough time, checking out your picture, figuring out guys' pictures usually. I'm just joking. You can just send me a picture and I can tell you what could be your body type. Then probably you can take a call if mass gainers are for you or not. So this is for body types and mass gainers. Now, they are just extra calories ideally suited for hard gainers. So that goes back to my point, those ectomorphs. You know, Ideally, a hard gainer should be taking mass gainers, not people, who want to pack on muscle. If you really want to pack on muscle, and if you're not an ectomorph, what you should be doing is you should be lifting heavy. If you really want to go up the extra calories, probably you can make a, a gainer at home. I'll tell you how. This one. What you can do is, just take some oats in a blender, put 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and probably 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream, and 2 scoops of regular whey protein. That's going to give you a complete 600-700 calorie gainer, which is through food, not even processed like a weight gainer or a mass gainer. So this is pure. It will do wonders and work as a gainer. Now, for people, they often get confused that when they look at the label, the food label, and so I've picked up one of the product here, which is supposedly the best weight gainer or a mass gainer. You can see the name. I don't want to talk about it. Now, if you were to look at the content, if you look at the heaping scoops there, so we've got 2 heaping scoops of close to about 300, 334 odd grams, and has about 1250 calories, out of which 40 from fat, and there are about 20 gram of sugar. Now, if you're not an ectomorph, you're not a hard gainer, if you take this 2 heaping scoops, and that if you just take two servings a day, you're adding close to 2500 calories. And if you're not training heavy, dude, you're gonna get fat. 1250 calories mean that you can have a couple of chicken breast, or vegetarian wise you can have some roti, dal and stuff. You can have two and a half meals. So is this. So my point to everyone is that guys, you really don't have to go for a gainer. If you're an ectomorph, if you're somebody who have tough time gaining on muscle, go for it. But if you're a regular guy, probably an endomorph or a mesomorph guy, who can pack on muscle, you can just probably train heavy and usually take regular whey protein. If you really want to add calories, I just shared with you. Make a homemade protein shake with extra calories. That should be good enough for you. So to your question, Aman, what you really need to go is first figure out your body type, what exactly your body type. Two, basis your body type, decide that if you really need a gainer. If you were to ask me, if I were you, I will not pick up a gainer unless and until my diet is all screwed up, I really don't eat, I have no access to food, then probably I'll take a gainer. But if your diet is screwed up, you can never put on a good amount of muscle. So really you have to make a choice there. As I said, for endomycin, you can take regular concentrate whey. But if you're still one of those hell-bent guys that you want to take a gainer despite me telling you not to, but then remember one thing. You're going to be taking at least 1000 calories through that gainer. So ensure that you don't take extra meals like you take usually with your other dietary habits, so that you balance it out, so that you don't get fat. Because I've seen a lot of people when they start weight gain, because why weight mass gainers? Oh, we're going to add some muscle, it's going to pump up. No, usually the concept of mass gainer is just for hard gainers, so that they could get some extra calories, which they can't because they have tough time packing on muscle. But for a guy who's an endomorph or somebody who's already blessed with good genetics, if he were to take this, he's going to get fat no matter what. If you want to take it, balance your other meals. Probably if you're taking 4 meals, bring it down to 2, and then probably go with this. You're probably going to get 40 to 50 grams of protein, some carbs, a lot of carbs, actually 80% if you were to go back. It has about 84% carbs there. So, So you can imagine the kind of ratio that we're looking at between carbs and protein in a gainer compared to a whey protein, which has about close to 70 to 80% of protein. So you decide now, in terms of my recommendation is, if you're a regular guy, don't go with gainer, it'll only make you fat. But if you can balance your other meals from 4 to 2, hey, try it out. Who knows, it works well for you, and you can balance it out. You won't put on extra fat at least, so that should help. As I said, take a gainer if you can find a way to balance your nutrition. And then I always say to people, hey, enjoy life. So I hope this helps a lot of you, and it helps Aman as well. So if any one of you who have any questions to me, feel free to write it. I run a small YouTube channel. I also have a page on Facebook, where you can write me a question. I'll try to help you out. And also, guys, I've also started a Skype service. If you really want to talk to me face to face, you can Skype me your details, and I'll be happy to talk to you face to face. So it'll be a good way to kind of, we get to know personally each other in terms of our fitness experiences and what problems you may be having. Cool. So till we meet again, see you.